Welcome back to New Frontier. I'm BEP, and this is the Homestead Challenge. Just wrapping up our plowing here in our early morning of December. Got some low light looking good. As we experienced last time, the Mercedes in this plow is not a fast process, but we're getting it done. One last strip to home, and we are finished with the plowing of the cornfield. Now, I do think that today is the day we're going to add a field further out. So I think once we get this done, here we go, let's finish up, guys. Once we get this done, we're going to take the plow out, and I've been doing a little bit of just looking and planning and trying to figure out exactly what we want to do. We discussed in a previous episode putting the field sort of out over in this area here, and I don't think that's a bad idea, but I think that might limit us on our grass expansion if we ever want to come out here. And looking at the PDA, or looking at the map which I have up, we own a ton of land on this side that we haven't even gotten into yet. So I'm thinking maybe we cut in a field over here, like maybe have it loop down here by these trees. I think we can come all the way out, loop it this way, bring it up, maybe take out a couple of these trees. And look at this. I mean, guys, I think we come all the way back, like to here, and then wrap it and finish it. That would be a nice, sizable field. You can sort of see where the tire tracks are. I think that is, like, that general area would be a good field. We could take a couple of trees on this side, a couple of trees on that side, and have it right where we want it. So we'll work on the trees in a minute. Not sure if we're going to try this field with the Mercedes or if we're going to try it with a Unimog, because the Mercedes just struggles with that plow. But let me grab our rock picker real quick, and I'm going to throw the rock picking of this field on a time lapse, and then we'll sort of get into the daily routine of things and all the stuff we normally do and go from there. So I will see you guys when we have our rocks all picked. Be back in a minute. I think we got them all. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Alright, let's see. Stones. I think we got them all, guys. Not bad at all. So let's head back in to the shed and get started here. It is nice that we only get big rocks on the field with that plow, so they're easy to see. Now, our new expanded field we're talking about putting in today, I'm not sure I want to do that with the hand rock picker. That could be a bit of an adventure. So let's see what we get going on here. And okay, we got that open. Can we get the rocks to go in? Yes, the rocks went in. Perfect. That's why we picked up that little bucket there, or bin, whatever we're calling it. Alright, so now what we have to do is go grab the forklift that's out here, and then we forklift the bin over the lime production, the stone crusher, and we go from there. So let's run this guy back. I'll see you guys in the shed when we're putting the rocks in. Alright, we've made it back to the shed. Let's head over here and see about getting underneath this. I'm hoping we can get underneath it on the side here. That seems like a reasonable spot right there. Ooh, we don't want it to tip off. Can we push it on the wall? Okay, that's success so far. There we go. Can hear it going in. Let's check our production. We have our stone crusher production. We have 228 liters of stone. Excellent. Let's turn that on. Back this up. Let's go ahead and put the bin down. And I'm going to leave the pallet jack in here for now. But we have 227, 226. Yeah, we are producing lime again, guys. So that is great news. Let's check on the animals before we get into our projects for the day. Alright, so messages on the sheep. Alright, let's see. Starting down, we're in December. 1 baby, 2 babies, 2 babies, 2 babies. It's 7 babies. 8 babies. Okay, 1 was sold. Oh, 1 died at birth. That's not great. Why is that message green? Why would a baby dying at birth be green, guys? Okay, well, I don't understand that. But okay, 1 died at birth. 2 more were sold. So we made about $220 on sold sheep. And then 2 more died. So we had 3 deaths at birth this month with the sheep, which is very, very surprising. So I do wonder if the pen is full. Yeah, so we have 38 out of 38 sheep. So we need the... There we go. How many male... I mean, we have all these rams, but we have the herdsman set up to sell between 9 months and a year. So yeah, we're just keeping them, I guess. I mean, at this point, you know, we're trying to get some value out of the rams. We do have... I mean, let's count the rams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just help out a little bit here because we don't need that many rams that are not part of our reproduction pool. So, yeah. We may be waiting for the herdsman. We may not be. Let's just sell selected. $668. All right, and let's see about getting them some food. And the triggers with this door and the animal menu and everything else. All right, so how much food do they have now? Let's see. 2,900 out of 3,000 seems reasonable to me. We have a pallet and a quarter of wool over here. That's great news for December. Our pallet of eggs is almost full. What do we have for our chickens here? Let's see. Back into December, 5 babies, 5 babies, 5 babies, 5. Wow, we had what? 25 baby chicks born. That is tremendous. 94 out of 136. We may have to go in there and sell some males here in a minute. On the other side of the animals, on the messages. All right, so insemination was unsuccessful. Insemination was successful and unsuccessful. And then we're back to November. So we need to... Which animals here are available? So the last one... And Gertie. Gertie in the last one. Okay, so we'll come into here. Gertie. We'll try this one. It seems like the chance of AI working is going down on these animals. Oh, was it not this one? Did I hit the wrong thing? I must hit the wrong thing. And we'll switch up, use the other straws. Excellent. Away we go. 4 little rams. Most of them not in good shape, but they're all right. Now, the other exciting news is the apple orchards are all off of fertilizer. So if we jump into our menu here and take a look at our apple orchards, solid fertilizer 0, we're running on water at 100%. Solid fertilizer 0, we're running on water at 100%. So we are off of fertilizer for the apple orchards, which is really, really good news. Now, before we jump in the Unimog, is there anything we should be planting? No, there's nothing to plant in December. We are done planting until April. We are quite simply on yard work and projects. So let's get loaded up. I need to take a run up to town. We need to get the produce sold. The wood mill is empty, which is not a big deal, but won't give us much production and income over the winter. I think we'll take a couple of trees down as we do the field expansion over there. We'll put those into the wood, into the sawmill, and see how those do, and see what else we want to get into here. So, swing around here. I think we want to pick up the full wool pallet. I think we'll leave the partial. I don't think the knitwear shop. Let's take a peek. Let's just grab the full one. All right, looking at Granny's knitwear shop. Yeah, I mean, there's still 1,000 liters of wool in there, so no need to rush that. The egg pallet we're going to leave. The goat's milk we're going to leave. So let's grab the apples. And then we'll see about grabbing the wood products as well. Let the rest of those spawn. Always a game of waiting for the pallets to spawn. There we go. Nice and easy. We're going to do a repack. Try to get organized. That wool pallet is a different size than everything else. So, yeah, see the wool pallet sticking up there. I think we should have one more round of apples coming out. Yep, there we go. They are all in. Man, the auto load with the pallets is magical. Love how quickly that works. I remember we used to do this with a little orange trailer. Alright, let's see what it thinks we'll be able to get on here now. Oh, we can definitely fit the planks on for sure. Let's try stacking. Let's see how that goes. That went poorly. That's how that went, guys. That is not what we want. Let's try stacking with just this stuff. And we'll do the wood last. Because if we know we're going to have a full load, it's not necessarily a bad idea to use the stacking input method. Alright, so we left a pretty significant gap there. All about logistics and cargo management here. Watch out. Now we have to get up far enough to unload it without hitting the fence, but also not get into the wood pile. Oh, maybe it won't let me unload. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we need 4 pallets high or 3 pallets high absolutely everywhere all across the whole thing. That's not quite it. Alright, we're going to grab this stuff. Doesn't look like it. Alright, I think we leave that wood there then. That's all we're going to get out of this. And that's fine. So, we got some stuff to sell. We have some stuff we got to drop off the wool pallet at the knitwear shop. So I will see you guys up at the warehouse. We'll figure out where everything goes between the farmer's market and the warehouse and get it sold. See you guys in a minute. You know what I think will be easier than trying to separate some of this stuff? Let's go drop off the wool first. We know we're not selling the wool. We know we have to drop it off. So may as well go do that while we have it. Now, where is... pallet of wool is there on the left side at the back. So we're going to have to switch sides and select the wool. So let's get the menu up, switching sides. All right, let's see. Material type wool, great. Switch sides, excellent. Perfect. You see that? The wool is gone. Nice and easy. In other news, the corn dryer ran overnight and is done. We have about 2,700 liters of dried corn. It's not a good time to sell it. So probably have to come up here with the Brantner set up as a tipper and get that pulled out. Now, the only question I'm unclear on is if that will fit in our silo. If our silo takes dried corn. I think it should. I think this corn dryer adds it to the silos, but we'll have to wait and see. So, coming in here, time-saving stock check. Apples go to the warehouse. Produce, we know we can only sell at the farmer's market, so it's about the planks. The planks go to the buildable log cabin. The second best place is the farmer's market. So, let's unload the apples. Perfect. Let's get this stuff sold where it is best. Just about $7,000, a little more. And then we can come back and grab our apples. And here we go. Probably don't need that on stacking anymore. Ah, look at that. Mid-load, we got it switched over to layering. Got a nice apple staircase on the back of the truck. That's funny looking. All right. Coming through the sell point. Okay, $18,000, $20,000, $22,000, $23,000-ish in there. Not a bad haul. $73,000 in total. We are making progress. I did check the sale this morning. There's nothing in there. There's an air cart, a big square baler we don't need, a couple other, I think there's only 4 things in there, so nothing worth looking at today, but we're starting to build up a little bit of cash. Maybe we should real quick here. Let's just pull over. I want to be looking at the phone while driving. You know, what does a plot of land around us cost? Like plot 42 is 144. This one's 183, 150, 78. So we could go straight back towards town. Interesting. That is very interesting. Let's get back there, and just as we're driving by, let's take a look and see what expanding that way would look like as far as a new piece of land. 78,000 is quite doable. We have the additional wood production to sell, and we have at least 1 pallet of clothes from the knitwear that we could sell. Now, I'm not sure that clothing is at its best, but we'll see. So I'll see you guys back at the farm. Alright, so this is the piece of land in question. There's our shed. So be right over here. I mean, we could do some forestry work. We could expand fields up the hill. I mean, that's not a bad option. It is, wow, look at that, though. It is steep there on the backside. Man, we may have to go investigate that before we actually buy it. I'm willing to work on some uneven terrain. I think that's just part of homesteading, as they say, but I don't know that we can use that hill for a whole heck of a lot, so we'll have to check it out, because, man, look at that. That hill does go way, way up. And maybe that's not even on the property, but we'll take a look and find out. We're going to convert this over to the tipper before we disconnect, just so that we can get the dried corn out. Standard. There we go. That's what we needed. We're actually just going to leave it right there. All right, let's go work on this field expansion, or this new field. It's not even an expansion, technically. Let's go figure out what we want to do there. Still need to get that little animal transport trailer up to the sell point to sell it. That'll be a project for over winter when we don't have a lot to do. So, first order of business, grab the winch. Ooh, we were awfully close to getting into our canola. Wow, that was close. Have to remember, the Unimog does not brake as hard as some of the other vehicles. Alright. The goal here is not to drop the crane or the hook or anything else. Just going to leave that. So it is the bottom furthest left attachment is what we're working with here. Now, we're out here at the field. Let's take a look. Coming out here, I could see this road sort of continuing up here where the tire tracks are, coming through. I don't think that feels particularly narrow. I do feel like this tree is an obvious cut right in the way of the field. And maybe what we should do, let's try this. This is a trick I learned from another content creator. So that's what's in the sale. So there's a bale wrapper, the air cart, and then the slurry pit or the slurry tanker that we don't need. So what we'll do here is we'll come in, we'll come down to paint. Let's find, excuse me, let's find like a forest ground type thing. And let me just get things marked real quick. Well, I think that's going to be a good shape for the field. Sorry my mic cut out on that one, guys. Just snapping back in here. But I think that's the right shape for the field. We got to remove a couple of trees to make it happen. But that field is bigger than both of our other fields combined. So let's get in here and get some trees cut out. Anything that's inside our little dirt ring or near it. We don't want to have any issues with the plow, with the harvester, with a planter going around. And I think like even this one probably needs to go to the old sawmill. So, okay, going around the outside. This one is probably fairly close. Maybe a little bit too close. We'll have to see. Don't want to cut down every tree, obviously, but need to have space to work the equipment. This corner looks good. All right, these two we're going to cut and have them fall, or have them fall the other way so we can get through this. I think there's a couple more on the far side as well. Okay, those two. This one's probably too close to the field edge. So we're going to get a decent amount of wood out of this. So our sawmill will be back up and running pretty easily with all this stuff. Alright, always the sliver that's the problem. That worked out well. I think this one is also too close. And I think if we're going to be over here, we have quite a bit of room for expansion. Let's see what the map looks like. Yeah, I don't think we're even pushing the edge of the property yet, so that is good news. Anything along here? That tree, I mean, that's dead wood. Let's just cut it as it is. There's no reason to cut it as far as the field goes, but if we're taking lumber to the sawmill, dead wood's not ever going to grow back, so okay. And then we come back in here. Yeah, I like that. I think that has gone quite well. So we got to drag a bunch of wood back to the sawmill. I think I will probably put this on a time lapse for you guys so you don't have to watch the whole thing in regular speed, but I will reconnect with you guys when we have the wood in the sawmill ready to go. See you guys in a minute. Bringing in the last batch of trees. Been trying to hook these last two over here as we come through, but I think we'll just have to drag them in on their own. Not the end of the world. Oh, we even got those last two in together. Here we go. Oh, didn't want to get back in. Wanted to get the winch line out. Alright, let's... Come on. Let me attach. There we go. I think we're going to have to reattach anyways, but we'll try the 2-for-1. Yeah, it was just too close. Had no momentum going to get that one dragged in. It is nice to be doing this with the cornfield down, so we don't have to worry about killing any of our crops if we overtake the corner here a little bit. You can already see I got a tire on there already, so there we go. Alright, all of the wood is in the sawmill. Gonna make us some more money. I haven't switched anything on the Unimog attachment, so we should be able to just back this in, lower it down, and drop it off without reattaching all of the stuff. Okay, nice. That went well. I think we're going to plow with the Unimog, guys. You know, the Mercedes is a great tractor, but it struggles with this plow a little bit. So we'll see if the Unimog has 30-ish more horsepower, 30, 35. So, you know, reasonable to expect it to do, to pull easier, I should say. Shouldn't do a better job, should just do it easier than the old Mercedes. So let's get connected here, and plus this plow is just a pull. It doesn't even require a 3-point, so Unimog might be just the perfect vehicle to do this with. Alrighty. I think we want to go clockwise based on the edge of the plow here. And I'll throw this on another time lapse and we'll get that done. But let's drop it down, turn on create field, and away we go. Oh yeah, pulling way better. I'll see you guys when we're done. Well, as you guys saw, we don't own nearly as much land as we thought we did. And the Unimog did pull better than the Mercedes, but this plow just drags. It is any kind of turn, any kind of rutted mud. It is slow to move right there. Just drop it down and just bogs us down. So we need to clean up the field edge on the far side over there. We don't really ever want to be planting, harvesting, plowing all the way to the edge of the field. That tends to make an absolute mess of things. Your harvester doesn't recognize it and everything else. So we're going to come in here and just sort of fill this edge in a little bit and round it off to make sure that we're not going to have any problems with going too close to the edge of the property. So there we go. Get all that done. Put in some nice tall meadow grass. Match all this up. And maybe someday we'll own this piece of land. And we'll be able to farm all the way to the edge. But for now, we are just going to take what we have and be happy with it. So, all said and done. Let's see. So there's our new field. You can see that whole top corner we thought we owned. We absolutely did not. I wonder if I do sort of want to round these off just a little bit more. Just soften those corners. And then this one down here being so steep. There. I think that's gonna make getting around those a lot easier. So put some grass in there. Put some grass in here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We're going to leave the plow here to have the Mercedes take it back. We need to go check. The very last thing for today is to check on our bull and see how our cheap bull is doing. So we have this bull down here. Let's see, which one is it? Say it has to be this one, right? Yep, so we bought that bull for $1,279 last month. He is worth $1,583, so he improved by $300 overnight, eating a little bit of our silage. I think we'll let it ride. See if maybe we can get another $200 or $300 out of him. If we get $500 back on our bull, that'd be about 35-40% return on investment for just feeding him for 2 months. I think that's going to be a very, very good option. So we'll leave him there. And I'm just remembering, I said that was going to be our last thing, but I'm just remembering we need to go pick up the dried corn and see if we can put it into our silo to store, because it is not the right time to sell the dried corn. The dried corn reduces, the corn dryer reduces the total amount of corn we have, but increases its value. I think it almost doubles it, basically. So not a bad return on investment, particularly since the straw is all but useless to us. But if we don't wait and sell it at the best time, then we're just going to lose money. So it would have been better just to sell the corn outright and not pay for the production lease and everything else. And that is the big reason we have to pick up the corn today, is because we don't want to continue to pay the lease on the corn dryer if we're not using it. So I'll see you guys at the corn dryer in just a moment. Let's see if we have more success getting the dried corn out than we did getting the straw in last episode. Man, it is tight back here. Okay, here we go. Dried corn, 2,750 liters in the trailer. Tarp that up. Let's come into here and make sure we end the lease on the corn building. We do not want to continue to pay the lease on that if we're not going to use it. I will take the corn back to the farm and we will test together before we end the episode to see if it goes into our silo or if I just filled our Brantner trailer and we are stuck until we find a place to store our corn somewhere else. So I'll see you for the big reveal back at the silo in a few moments. Here we are, approaching the silo. Our moment of truth is upon us. Does the silo hold dried corn? Now, we do have to circle this way. Might have been a bit early for the big climatic cinematic call-out, but we do have to back it in here, which has proven to be a bit of a challenge. So let's see here. Okay, nice and easy and slow. I will say the Unimog and the trailer do handle really, really well. Okay, strike one. Came in contact with the auger. Have to get around the auger and still get the trailer snapped around. Ooh, that front tire is getting close. I don't think we got it, guys. I think we're spinning at this point. Well, we may have gotten ourselves into a real pickle here. Okay, hold on. Haven't driven in the field yet. This tree is going to be something that I'm going to regret not having cut down. Okay, we are free and clear of the field. Now we just need... Can we cut hard enough to get it in there? Man, we did this the last time we tried this. We got this like first try. Yeah, we are stuck. We are pinned with the trailer behind the Unimog. Alright, and then just a little bit there. And we don't even know if it's going to work. We might be doing all this for nothing. Can we... Oh, guys, you see that? Dried corn. All the suffering was worth it. Dried corn going in. Lack of driver skill, not of silo capacity. Look at that. Let's go take a look. Actually, let's turn this off so I don't have to listen to it. Coming around. 10,341 liters of wheat and 2,750 liters of dried corn. I am excited that our silo holds that. Still have another just about 12,000 liters in our little farm silo. Man, this, I did not imagine this being so hard to get to. When we were using the hand tools, getting in and out of that shed was so easy. And now with the truck and the trailer and the auger sticking out, it is definitely a challenge. We may reclaim a bit of this field edge here. Maybe have it swing out this way a little bit and just try to clear that out, or maybe even get rid of that tree. We'll have to see. But a great episode. Got a lot done. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications. Channel memberships are available if you'd like to support my content further, and channel members do get early access to upcoming videos. That's all for this one, but I'll see you in the next one.